Hello, everybody. I'm excited today to welcome Fabio Genovese today and to talk a little bit about how he uses Warsaw Dynamic apps and how they help him in his day-to-day life and maybe some challenges he has. Hello, Fabio. Fantastic to have you here today
Hello
with
to
us.
all, very happy to see you, and I'm very happy also to describe my experience in this interview. Thank you for this great opportunity.
We thank you.
Great. Um, let's get started.
Okay, I'm ready, quite ready. Don't worry, this is myself.
Okay, so maybe let's start with a little description of your organization, of what you are doing on daily basis.
Yes, let me introduce Artigiano del Software, that is the name of the company. We are a silver solution partner here in Italy, and we do Atlassian consultants with a lot of customers, from smaller to also larger. And we use our experience and also experience in apps in the ecosystem of Atlassian products, also to cover specific needs of companies. In this case, usually we got all the information from the customer, all the needs, all the possibility, all the develop they want to do, and we also use apps to cover and create their solution as a tailor-made solution. This is our goal.
Fantastic. And before you came to use external share, what was your experience and what was kind of the problem you were facing, or what was the use case?
There was a very, very difficult problem because in this situation, sharing documentation, quotes, contracts, description, and so forth is very, very heavy using email. Email is the standard way that every company uses to share information, and is the very, very worst repository to use to share information, because every time the problem was, but I think it is not a news for other companies. Which version is the correct version? The first one, the day before, but no, the previous email of blah 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 blah. So every time it is difficult also to understand. Oh my God, the customer accepted the previous contract with the old clauses, with all the article. Oh my God, please restart again the process. And the situation was very, very easy to do, to also to solve. So mail, okay, legal, what do you think? Okay, is correct all the thinking of the whole company that use email, but usually have the correct solution using email is tough. So we also explore several other solutions, but this is also the very, very challenge for Artigiano del Software.
So, how did you find the external share
Yeah,
for
we,
Confluence?
we we hear that a lot. That email is like really. It's interesting that you say that you came coming from email and moving to Confluent. But sorry, Beata, I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, I just wanted to proceed with. So we know that there are so many problems with emails or maybe challenges, and I was wondering, how did you find the external share to help you with that challenge?
But we discover external share because we inside at Artigiano del Software we do a brainstorming, and we are Atlassian product addicts, so we try to use Atlassian products just to solve the problem. And having a large experience in using app, we explore the marketplace to find an app that cover some requirement. For example, unique copy of the documentation, so we don't have to search everywhere in the world where is the correct version of the document. So we need, for example, Confluence with the possibility to share information of Confluence, because Confluence maintain a perfect way the version of the document. And exploring, we finally find external share. External share cover a lot of needs. maintain the unique copy, allow to share the document with any kind of users, external users, and this is important because, for example, if I use, for example, SharePoint, okay, is a good possibility also to share documentation, but sometimes we also have to maintain the internal policy, and sometimes to maintain internal policy, SharePoint is not the good tool to use. But using external share, we can share the documentation with any kind of user. We don't mind who is. Use Microsoft, use Linux, use any kind of operating system and system inside. So we can share documentation. We can obtain interaction between the user. Comments are allowed, but also with the latest version of external share, we can also give the possibility to edit the document to external customer or to the external person. And this is also important. We can protect the document using SSO or a password, and this is also important. So we can have the possibility to share a unique copy of the documentation without have the problem to obtain, okay, send email, send the PDF, send the Word, and so forth. And there's a great result for us. In this case, we can share without any problem. Quote, if a customer asks us, okay, we need to do this operation, please send us a quote, how much days, how much cost, etc., etc. We can share without any problem. And the document is clear, we use Confluence, so we have a unique repository inside the organization, and also the external person can see the updates directly without any problem. Not send a new copy, not wait, we have to check, where I have to retrieve information from the email. No, the copy is inside the Confluence, and the result is, okay, this sentence is not correct for the contract, no problem, just a second, a few click, just a modification, just an update, and the game is done, and the update is immediately available to the customer. And this is important.
Amazing. Yes, it's really that single source of truth where everyone can go to and they know exactly that they have this one point. It's not that thread of emails where you were CC at 2 weeks ago. You go there and then you have the latest thing. Also love what you said about bringing different people and different operating systems together. Actually, I think it's something we never thought of, but if you're on SharePoint, then you're pretty much kind of bound to that thing, but with Confluence and external share, it doesn't matter. As long as there's a browser, they can see it. Thank you so much, Fabio. For the implementation phase, once you discovered the app, how long did it take you to go from that discovery stage to users being fully onboarded internally and externally to use the app? How, was it challenging? Did it take a long time?
Not take a long time. We use 2 customers as a pilot. We use them just to understand how manage the situation, how to configure Confluence, how to configure the app, how is the best practice to use for our internal procedure. More or less we need 6 months to configure all, but I think that now with all the experience 3 months are enough just to configure the environment, just to define, for example, the template to use for several documentation, which kind of configuration is used for share information with the customer instead another one, and so forth. But the configuration we choose to manage the situation was this. One unique space inside the Confluence where put all the information for all customers. So we can organize all the space with a specific a specific preview page, one for each customer. And inside the main page of the customer, all the contract quotes, documentation, and so forth needed for the customer. After this, we use external share to share the document we need. And after, okay, customer needs more time to consult, to decide, no problem, just change a configuration of the external share and the documentation is still available for the customer. And this is great because few click and we obtain the great result. Really, it's very, very easy to use, and this is important also, this point.
Okay, so maybe something that you already mentioned in your previous answers, but if you were about to say what's the more important or the most important features, not only one but several of them in the external share, what would that be?
But the most important feature is, my opinion, of course, but different point of view, I think, different answer. But the most important feature is the possibility to see if the external person see the document. So I can also check if a person, okay, you see my quote, and in Italy is more or less like this, but all the word is the same. You see my quote? Ah, no, I have no time. This is a very bad time. Please wait for a few seconds. Strange. I saw that you see my documentation yesterday. Why you say me this? And sometimes, aha, I got you. So by my side is important also understand this point because I can see, okay, you see the document. Why you don't answer me? Is any problem? Something is not clear? Just explain with a comment. No problem.
That's an interesting. That I think we haven't heard that one, right, Beate? That's a good one.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you have that on some CRM systems where you can see if people open up an email. But yeah, it gives you full visibility, and it's definitely helpful to have a good conversation with someone if you know already that they know the document and they looked at it. That's fantastic. I think you kind of mentioned it already, but and I get a feeling you like external share, but the overall experience, how would you describe it of external share and everything that around it?
But
anything that you would like to highlight there?
But my experience, I think, now is a part of the organization because I think I can imagine a situation of shared a contract, a quote, an explanation without external share. I think that now, my opinion, with the new tools like Loom, like others, external share will adapt himself to allow the possibility to share also video, to share also other macro, or integrate external share with other apps, because I think it's important integrate with the most used apps like, for example, Glyphy, for example, Draw.io, just to include the other possibility, but also include, for example, again, yes, I'm Italian, so I move myself. This is my way also to express, and but I think that also included a new standard feature of a conference like whiteboards is important because you can describe the flow, you can describe all you need in a single page, and having this possibility is fantastic by my side, and because I can share a complete requirement, a complete quote, a complete document with a external customer in few minutes, just writing the documentation and few click shared. This is important. The easy to use is fantastic. So it's also a part of the organization right now. I think that back to email is impossible. Also because okay, searching an email is a very, very impossible mission. My God.
Fabio, I think we would love to take that as a quote from this thing. At least in my mind, it feels like Excel shares become part of the organization. I think that's a fantastic feedback. Thank you so much. And just to highlight, we already made sure that Loom videos are displayed on Confluence pages. So because we strongly believe in video, and video messages are usually these days work the best. So if you do a Loom and you have it on your Confluence page, it will be displayed on the other side as well. Just to share that with you. And we also support quite a few macros. I think the ones you mentioned there are available. So yeah, we're making sure that we support the major macros, even some smaller bespoke ones. And to say that without overpromising, I think we have a track record for making the impossible possible. With if there's a customer requirement to say like we want that macro, we in the past at least had a really fast turnaround, and I have a gut feeling our devs will make sure everything is working if somebody needs it. So fantastic.
Perfect,
That's for
perfect.
sure.
And
So,
yes, Beata, sorry for interrupt.
yeah, we already know that you like our tool, and that's so amazing to hear. But I would like to take another approach and ask you if there is anything that you would like to improve there, or any additional feature we should add.
Very, very interesting question, because add a new feature or improve this fantastic app, the possibility to make other integration with other apps, I think. So making, as you say, Hendrik, the impossible possible, I think is important. But I think first point, this app is the best app for the work, because I can describe, because in my mind, some mind are in Sicilian, because of my origin is from Sicily, and sometimes using this app I will say this word, mi stai arricchiando, that can be translated, I enjoy the possibility to use this app because it's fantastic. And to improve, yes, integration with other apps, integration also with could be other external services, but for example, Loom could be another possibility, or the possibility also to show, for example, YouTube video or Rumble video or external source video. It is possible, but I think that YouTube, Rumble, Vimeo, and other add possibility, or the main possibility of video source, I think it could cover the 90% of the possibility, because exist also minor providers that are more or less similar to YouTube, local in some states, or more or less down of YouTube as importance. But if there is the possibility also to share some video, I think is fantastic, because a video also describe better some situation, or could be for example an introduce of a problem, or divide a documentation with some video can explain better also the text of the document. In some cases I prefer also use, also in my blog, to describe some operation. I was able to use some GIF just to show how it works, some steps. For example, I have to describe how to use external share. Okay, I prepare some GIF where I move the mouse in some place, I describe this point, I put some arrow to say this option, for example. And in this case is also with the person that have no habit to use Confluence can understand very well the option. Okay, this is the steps to do, this is the step 1, the step 2, the step 3, and so forth. And this is also important. Using this integration, I have the possibility to share also documentation where I describe, okay, you ask me to solve this problem, or how to obtain this result. Okay, here are the steps to follow to obtain the result in easy way. By my side, it would be fantastic.
Yeah. So basically, if I can understand correctly, it's make it visual and integrate with visual tools to help to tell the story not only based on text but also in terms of graphics, explainers, little gifs, videos, etc. Just to add around the story.
Exactly, exactly. Just to obtain more
Fantastic.
interaction, also in the read of the document. My idea, of course.
Sounds great. I think it's a great idea, and we will definitely take that back. Looking into the future now, first of all, what is there? If people want to learn more about Artigiano the software and your company, where can they find you? What are the next steps in future? What do you have anything planned you want to share with the audience? And also, will there be a role for external share in it that you can also talk about a little bit?
But just to find what Artigiano del Software is preparing, I think my official site and my official blog, artigianodelsoftware.it, is a good source because our experience is always shared in my blog, where I describe experience, idea, possibility, and sometimes also alternative usage of some apps. Because sometimes I'll try to see over because okay, we have an apps that do a specific operation, perfect, have some feature, fantastic, but if I use that app for another goal, why not? And I think this is my personal I don't know, my personal also way to think. Also try to use like a Lego brick every app in a correct scenario, in a correct situation, in a correct way. But the correct way, it depend of the context, depend of the customer, depend of the situation, depend also of the fantasy. Because sometimes we make some thinking and yes, the rule is it depends because every company is different. Every company have own story, have own needs. Sometimes I usually to say, if I took a problem, the same problem, and I ask to different company how solve that problem, for example, 10 company, I can obtain 20 solution, 20 different solution. Maybe that some company,
Yeah, absolutely.
some division inside the same company will use another solution. For example, 3 division, 3 different solution. It's fantastic because this also proves that a problem have not one solution but several. Why not? And one solution could be good for example, one person, one division, one group, one team. Why not?
There's a saying in German. It's a little bit. I'm not sure if you have the same in Italian, but there are many ways that leads to Rome. So I think it's what you're just describing.
Great. No, fantastic. Also compare the approach of the problem because I know I'm Sicilian, I'm Italian, and I have my approach, but also understand that other country have the similar approach or a little bit different, but produce great results. It's fantastic for me because it's like a jump to understand and to learn. Learning is fantastic. Trust me.
Yeah, we're on the
Wow,
same page
that's
here.
fantastic, really. Beata, anything that is on your mind, or should we wrap it up?
Uh, Only one question that I wanted to ask Fabio to tell here. You once mentioned this like historical metaphor. Do you remember that? When
Yes,
thinking
I
about this
remember.
dementia in your, could you please tell us that here?
Yes, it's a historical fact that is not well known, but describe how Albert Einstein, or sometimes I don't talk about Einstein using a German name, but Italian name. Is not known that Albert Einstein lived in Italy, in Pavia, for a few years because his parents worked in Milan, and sometimes signed some letter with Alberto. But no one knows that, for example, the relative theory was developed thanks to an Italian mathematician person that was born in Lugo di Romagna, a place very, very near to Bologna and Ravenna. And thanks to his work, Albert Einstein can complete your theory, because have the tool, the mathematical tool to develop this theory. And at the same way, using external share, we can complete our work with a good tool. This is the paragon. This is the comparison. And this is also important. History also help us to discover this fact. Is not known, but seems also not important. But sometimes a small information or could be a small tool can create a very, very big jump in the learning and also in improve our knowledge. This is also important.
That's amazing comparison.
Wow,
Thank
Fabio,
you.
nothing to add there. What a great way to end this conversation. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to hear you, and I hope we can talk sometime in future again.
I hope the same, because this conversation is important. Also, I'm repetitive, I know, but also to learn, because talking together also will increase the knowledge, but also increase the idea, because our mind is always in progress. They also think, and using this conversation is important. And thank you to all for this opportunity. Really, thank you very much. Thank you again, and hope we do other interview, other simple discussion, also live, also in present in other Atlassian events. Why not?
That would be
Why
great.
not? Beata, the last word is with you then.
Just I wanted to thank you, Fabio, for joining us today, for your amazing feedback. We're happy that you like our tool that much, and yeah, hopefully we'll have the opportunity to talk soon in the future.
I hope the same, really. Thank you again. Thank you, really.
Thank you.
Mille grazie. Ciao.